this tournament
it is
whatsoever.
The PGS1 law that we have to hard shift away from our team.
Yep, that is how it's been, at least up until this point. We'll see if it continues to be so. Gimli spotting a free well. Can't quite get a free kill on him, though. As Cumin whips a few that he probably wish he wouldn't have.
Yeah, Cumin able to find that grenade. I thought if he had stuck on that spray a little bit longer when Relo was driving, he might have been able to catch that Relo's vehicle spun in the air and he could potentially find the knock. But now he's able to continue to lock down Flood as it grows on the backside. All of Ghibli is here.
I love the fact that the first one on point, the second one he just yeeted off the mountain.
Yeah, why not?
It's a bit of a stress nade the second time around, exactly. As he waits for his team to get up close. Tosi is in a really high ground position set up there in the mountain above. He could potentially have a really good angle to try and suppress down below if Snakers and Flood wants to push over.
One more good grenade from Heaven will end this particular round, but he's actually going to find Kickstart with it. I was going to say of Relo. Instead, he finds the knock on a kick. Well-placed grenades from Heaven, and LG might just be done with this.
Yeah, no reason to sing around here. Nice 180 set up there as Ghibli again aggressively trying to come over and claim these kills, having of course seen the vehicle dip and hurt it as well. 2 easy points for Gibbles Spibbles.
That's right. Now you're getting it.
Yeah,
it's the old
growing on me. It's growing on me. I like it.
It is cute, right? It's fun to say.
Yeah.
I feel like it fits with their name. Ooh, Tanawa though hits Glaz. And Glaz was in the middle of that 3-man formation that Ghibli had, so well, I don't know what happened there, but Glaz did not last long.
Not at all. Circle did not do what we thought it was going to. It does shift Westo out into open terrain, limited playability terrain, and we'll see how, when this fight comes to an end, I could only imagine Purple Mood is opting to rotate into that one. We've questioned Purple Mood's not rotation ideas, but rotation executions so far in this tournament. Paper, they've been going in the right directions, but then not really daring. In similar fashion to Sun Sister, not really been daring to claim what they were kind of giving themselves access to. So curious to see how Purple Moon are planning on getting off this mountain.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think them and Sun Sister hopefully are going to learn some hard lessons from this event that, you know, hopefully they can go back, watch that tape, realize that there is potential for them to, you know, finish much better, to have much better performances.
They fit in the ecosystem. Because, again, when you're a team that do something that most other teams don't, well, we see Luminosity run the gauntlet in this one. When you're a team that plays a style that no one else does, you might not have to be the best team in the lobby, but you can still usually thrive, because you end up positioning yourself in areas where there ain't a whole lot of teams around you.
Exactly. No, it's been tough for Sun Sister in particular. You know, and I was hoping that maybe we could see, you know, with the performance they had at the end of the PJS, to kind of rip away what looked like an assured win for a couple other teams. You know, Sun Sister put up a monster last couple days to get here. I mean, absolutely monster last couple of days. So, well, we'll see if maybe there's a readjustment as things go towards PGS2 and Snakers goes towards this shack and might die when he gets there. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't even get in.
That's an M16 for Mill.
I think any gun could have done it at that point. He had like 1 HP.
Toss a pan at him. Wait, the Sonic doesn't spawn on this map. What's the worst gun on this map?
Toss a pan at him.
The pan?
Yeah, exactly. The mortars that we were talking about the other day.
Yeah. Pan's not a gun, Toby. I don't know what the worst gun that spawns on this map.
The worst gun is a pan, because it's not even a gun.
Well,
breaking logic, one sentence at a time.
We're done with this conversation. Ghibli, yes, Tosi, over behind the rock. Now you have Gibbles down to just 3, as we saw Glaz get glazed a little bit earlier. You're welcome, Kalaris. As 17 Gaming sits in the gas station and the area around it. GEX is completely fanned out, taking a lakeside vacation around the Osnaya Lake.
They're playing the odds. They're waiting for the hot shots.
Yes.
I mean, can't fault them. Cannot. Coming into this tournament, I would say, what the hell are they doing down there? Now that we've seen this entire tournament unfold, I'm like, you know what? Ending in the water, you know, why not? At this point, are we really going to be surprised? Probably would be. A little bit.
Well, a little bit, but, I mean, not with the way things have gone. Normally I'd be surprised.
Exactly. I do like they're sitting around, because not only are they on the edge, so not really in danger, but not overcommitting to anything that might not be playable late. If you commit to a check, if you commit to a dip, you can be pretty sure that once you've committed to it, those tires are going to be gone, and you will have to stick around and play the rest of the game on foot. So let's not commit before we get a better inkling of where the game is actually going to end. And also, while staying here, they get to sit tight and make sure no one comes in behind them.
Yeah, no. I really like what you're saying. Tosi really likes what he's seeing. It's Thunders ripped away from this lobby. Now Heaven gonna turn on to Tanawat and take him down. Purple Mood just walking into Ghibli's opening arms. Boats with some grenades, but now he takes the crossfire from Tosi. And Fluky out on an island, may need to try to find an island for safety.
And while okay, let's hold the ball for a second. Circle, Circle has shifted up towards the north. A set bet center in the pretty much one of the only compounds that are left in this very northern shift. 17, nice rotation, kind of refortifying Little Ghost's position further up towards the north. They should be getting guests over at any time soon, or at least have a pretty good chance of shooting at half the server. The issue is they're not fully inside the circle themselves. I'm looking at STK on the map right now, and very curious that they're brave enough to try and maintain this two-way split, because that is two pretty prioritized compounds.
Yeah, I would like to see them go towards Birdie Curdy's compound up on the north. Heaven gets ZP on now. I mean, Ghibli is just
they're on one.
Beyond confident right now. This is the Ghibli I saw in the PWS Grand Finals.
Exactly.
That could do no wrong.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to try and allude into before we saw the circle shift before, because I know Ghibli are kind of talking their own tale in how they're performing right now, but I just want to give them a massive shout out. Considering how we saw the play coming into the beginning of this tournament, they're the one of the teams that have adjusted the best to their own mistakes early on and are playing flawless PUBG right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're really doing a good job making their semi-aggressive edge style pay off.
Yeah.
They hold angles so well, they recover from fights quickly, they play off of each other well right now. Heaven is going to go down to Jeeves. Now, this is a tough position for them. They got sandwiched between a couple different teams, but again, this round not of particular importance for Ghibli. Some damage being done, and Adam actually finds Specs on the backside. Now, that's problematic for FaZe.
Yep, as you said, not really that necessary for Ghibli, but crucial for FaZe. Only a couple games left. They're not solidified in the top 8 just yet. Only stat currently at 59 points, and losing players this early on is not exactly how they would have started off the mid-game here.
This has opened the door for Ghibli to do some damage.
Yep.
I cannot believe that New Happy didn't get aggressive on this fight, if I'm being perfectly honest. Instead, they're rotating away from this. They need points more than anybody else that's involved in this. I mean, you like you said, FaZe needs points, and now they're walking right to the guns of Gen G. Taming is making them pay, getting 3 headshots with the SLR, puts 3 members of New Happy down. Ming Ming's gonna have to stick these reses.
What an absolute beast. The New Happy just, I mean, magnets on their helmets these days. They can't go anywhere without getting their hats popped off. We'll see now. I think that's going to be Xiaopian down. Nope, not exactly. Hellsman should crawl off just a bit. And it's actually GX who are pulling up here. So maybe Ming Ming should be able to get one up. As I say that they're not going to have in phase 4. It's going to connect now. Xiaopian out.
Yeah, and GEX now even trying to see if they can get involved, but Nan somehow, some way able to get Leo knocked. The rest of Gen G trying to back up Tammy and HS out in the open point, going to be scooped up by Foxy. Nan and Ming Ming in the blue, trying to work through 2 different teams to keep their tournament hopes alive. But it is crumbling, it is desperate, it is dire for New Happy.
Really is. They need to get something going, and probably should have gotten something going a long time ago. Just 2 more games to play for this one. 0-point performance in this match. Up until this point, we'll see if they can get some flushes on the knocks down the hillside. 1 molly, still for Ming Ming to look forward. I would imagine, it's going to come through.
He's got to make it go. Meanwhile, Gen G's just backstabbing GEX here. Zed Nan down to Foxy from afar. And now Ming Ming continuing to try to find some way to get over this hill, some way to find points as his team desperate. And Ming Ming waiting. Oh, it's Nan actually. He's going to open up there, find the first Nan. Ming Ming now on his horse trying to push in towards these smokes, but the smokes persist. A couple fresh ones down as well here. Gen G, PO is down, but Yuri striking. Nan's dead. Ming Ming out the blue. He's going to get 1. Can he find any more? Ming Ming with 2. Ming Ming saving New Happy.
Doing everything he can to stay alive here. Sending forward. There's so many more points coming through, but Foxy from afar able to take him down from the compound of the hillside. That was 3 points just stolen away there from New Happy. Points they desperately needed.
Now a grenade plus some shots from Hikari have Gen G on the back foot potentially. Foxy just knows that GEX is in dire straits and is trying to finish the job. Him and Tamien working together. A stun up and over. Savior, is he going to be ready? No. It's going to be Foxy with the finish. Gen G here going to claim the lives of GEX and basically put New Happy out of this.
And the fight that unfolded while we were looking the other direction was 17 initially pushing up on Petrichor, taking them out, and then Twisted Minds immediately to follow. The southern side of Erangel here, or of the rest of the circle in Erangel, really lit on fire with that previous circle shift. And even though it's one that everyone was expecting, coming back down to the south off the water, there's just so limited area to play around. Everyone was getting pinced closer, or forced closer and closer to one another. And once that first fight starts, everyone eager to try and third party.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. Yeah, there's just not enough space in here for to do much else other than wrap the edges and try to sweep.
Yeah.
Pentagram now trying to do their best sweeping. 17 is under pressure from SDK, but they're able to return fire accurately. Lil Ghost takes Vegas.
That should be nowhere, right?
It's about close enough if he was like a little bit higher up. But Penta gets Lil Ghost knocked. This shack is bad news if Wicked gets a little bit closer.
Adder, not really. I mean, luckily for 17, Adder doesn't really have the better angle on that one there. They're just inside the circle, I believe. So for now, should be alright. Issue is Pentagram, just going to be waiting for them to come out.
Now, 17 is in 5th place currently, so they're getting there.
Yeah.
And they may be there. Depending on how all this goes, Circle's going to shift up to the north towards Ascend, who, that was a team you talked about a lot early in this game, that they need those points so badly.
And so far, they've been able to chill in the compound, which, unluckily for them, hasn't really given them any of those points that they desperately need. We'll see if they can get something along the way. 17 trying to wrap around the ridge line here, not really working their way, losing 2 in transition. Gameplay losing 1 as well now, actually the last player. So they're going to fall in 9th, and just now, we're making our way into placement points as we hit the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, Suju along the edge, just skirting the side, seeing if Pentagram will reveal themselves to him, but they're sticking a res. Alo should be able to find the finish. Yes, indeed, the flush onto Xiao Didi. It's going to be good. STK able to stay alive. You know, we talked about them a little bit or a long time ago. It feels like that they're still kicking.
I mean, they committed to the compound. We wanted them to commit to at least one of them, regardless of it being gas station or the hills up above. They went north, or south, I mean, as soon as they saw EXO come closer. So smart from Penta to dip on the north side compound to leave the split. And now, while they're outside the circle, Purdy has made his way inside the circle.
All right, the 2 survivors from Gen G slip in along the edge of the circle, but a lot of players out here on the other side, and I think they realize that after those shots, they're like, let's try the other way. But Vox actually has an angle onto the retreating players of Sunsister and Gen G, and Fevin out in the open, easy pickings.
Now, while we might, I don't want to say we can already give the win to Ascend. I'm curious to see how many kills they're going to be coming out with, because right now, as long as these fights are not happening on their kind of downhill side of this circle, there's not really anything they can do to engage on it. As long as the fights are happening down towards the south, it's very limited for them to get kills, unless if they actively go out and try and claim them. So we'll see how much of the commotion is going to continue up here as Third Eye push further towards the south.
I mean, my concern for Ascend is they have 0 kills, Toby, in this game. It's just, like you were saying, they got to start getting aggressive. I think Richie V, that's going to be Sunsister taking care of Third Eye, continuing to accumulate points. I believe they're up into 8th place right now, if I'm not mistaken.
On the cusp, set tied there with Petrichor at 52.
All right, EXO sat on the edge, still 4-man strong, empty left as an anchor as they're trying to get into SDK, but it's actually Adder and Akari who are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. And they are, you know, with EXO on the other side, but Pentagram is pushing in and just wipes SDK.
I mean, Adder just full-blown spraying through the smoke, finding the double.
Motherfucker.
SDK left with limited to no options. Tried to make a play on back, not going to happen. Penned in between 2 teams. A nice, quick execution from Pentagram, a team who also desperately needs these points, sat currently in 11th place.
Exactly. Pentagram has to get kill hungry. Oh, there's 3 alive for Gen G. I missed that we got the res on the Tamien earlier. I knew Pio died, and I just assumed that Tamien did. Oops daisies. Sorry, Tamien. Hikari, though, his Korean brethren, sits underneath him on the hill. They just spotted each other. They were both jumping at the same time, and Tamien, with a pretty nice 3x spray, backs him off.
Good shots connected to force him off that angle once more. Peter find Hikari again. Similar situation we saw with 17 before, trying to use that bridge line to wrap around. You will be visible to opponents in better positions, and well, unluckily for them, global PUBG players tend to hit their shots.
Yeah, they're kind of good at this game.
Yeah, pretty decent.
Pretty good. All right, Third Eye trying to make their way down the hill, but it's Chris.
Welcome to the game ascent.
There we go. He had some great shots on the Richie B. The real question is can Third Eye get there and back to Richie B? Right now, they're not even looking at him.
I'm curious to see how EXO are planning on playing this one. They're the only team who have yet to really commit to a decision, and now I think they do. Could go grab on the northern side, maybe even collapse on the compound, because Brax is running out. If they time this right, they might get a 4v1 against Killiakai, but that's a long journey over towards that side. I think they're going center instead. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, let's see if they can make this work. Adam on his own here. Box is kind of cut off by those smokes, so he's in a car. It looks like moving in. It's Chris is going to find that kill. Tabian continues to peek down towards Pentagram. XO smokes are out. They're not even a fully commit, as Third Eye was able to get the bulk of their forces there. Oh, MP! Some absolutely nasty shots along with Ikerman. XO has Pentagram nearly eliminated, and it's going to be done by Gen.G.
Pentagram down and out in fifth, but great game for them. Cannot take that away from them. And now is when Ascent is starting to flex out. I wanted to maybe have them do it earlier, but of course, Compound is always great to have. Take advantage of it for as long as you can. Brax grabbing one side, Micah grabbing the other. DG taking the blue as he's trying to find just one more flush before he goes down. Doesn't manage to get it.
Very nicely done here by Third Eye. Still hanging on, but now Brax finds the angle, finds the headshot. That's 2 headshots. Third Eye almost down and out. Brexico trying to find that last survivor from Third Eye. This is tough now.
And right now he's just buying time. Killiakai still set all the way down in the compound, actually able to find Akita. Nice angle from him, staying behind, playing the over-the-shoulder protector for the rest of the team, and really being a nuisance to to all of EXO, really.
Even though everything is, it's Chris, just in there, it's done. The grenade is good. Ascend coming to life. They have 4 kills. Can they finish the job? Can they win this game? Empty already knocked. It's Chris trying to spray the tree line, trying to see if he can get at least 1 more point. They're out in the smoke, but it's Chris. Outduels Akita. 2 left now for EXO. The walls are closing in.
I mean, EXO's been fighting, and then fighting some more. Ascend in the meantime has been setting tight. So nice helmets, vest, utility should be there as well. Kang does manage to find one, but they're just having the backs pushed all the way up against the blue now as both Brax and Killiakai comes up close.
Ooh, Brax is thinking about the grenade, but has to think better of it. Killiakai good for the crossfire, though, and now they are getting annihilated, and it's done. Ascend is going to find a win near the 11th.
Ascend with the ace as the chicken dinner comes through, and they get some much needed points at a very crucial time, all on the back of It's Chris.
That was a northern circle galore right there, and it kept going north. We even saw a lot of water going into the third circle, so you could see so many teams fighting. And that southeastern fight there, you had so many teams on this kind of smaller shacks there. Oh my god, I did not expect such a mayhem there. And also, some really nice shots coming in from Taman onto New Heavy. That was super impressive shots from them coming in.
Yeah, really what it came down to, Ascend got to watch most of the map unfold in front of them, but they did not lay idle. The moment that they saw that sort of move to the middle, they broke out. They were very bold with their outside rotations, and then they just absolutely massacred all of the teams on the inside.
Yeah, you were cheering on Brechko right there. Oh my god, that's a big angle. Like a high ground off angle, and Third Eye did not see it coming.
Third Eye
and he dominated two
they
guys.
Just left that spot. So Brechko saw it happen. He moved up there, and I think we were in the green when I was yelling, the shots are coming from inside the house, because it really was. They were not ready for that. They were singularly focused on the defense against EXO, understandably, but that's when you want to strike. That is PUBG in a nutshell. Get them when their backs are turned.
Yeah, so much terrain to be had in front of them, right? Because you're controlling the compound on the lower ground, and they're able to push up, and they take so much base, right? They controlled 70% of the circle. They wanted the spot that Third Eye was in for so long, right? Because that's the ridge you want to take control of, and then they could take on EXO quite easily. It was well executed, well timed by Ascend there, so good win for them there coming in. There's also, as we were talking about, the well-needed points. Coming with 2 more games to go, they get one more decent game, they could be going into the grand final with that.
That, I think, is my biggest takeaway. At the end of that game, and there's 2 left. This was 3 games left at this point. All 3 of the teams in the final moment there were teams that needed to put points on the board. So I'm glad that these teams are waking up and showing up. I'm starting to stress out that's a little too late for some of these guys. Let's take a look at the top 4 teams. 3 of them who need those points. Gen G, I think they're pretty comfortable, especially after getting 7 kills in that game. But you can tell, Ascend and Third Eye in particular have really decided they're going to put up here in the last couple of games. 9 kills for Third Eye, 8 for Ascend, both with just massive amounts of damage. I do love that 15 smoke count from Third Eye. They were just doing everything they could to survive in a really tough circle.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm a little bit sad because if that Richie B alive there, that could have been a different story. That was a big loss for them there in the late game.
That was a big loss in the late game. You did see Vox. Vox hesitated. He had to make that tough decision of do you leave him or go for him. And I think it was the right choice because he was being watched dead to right by Ascend. So let's take a look at the last 5 teams. This is what we were talking about. Pentagram decides, hey, maybe that's a spot for us too. EXO says, no, this is between us and Third Eye. You just stay out of it.
Yeah, MC sprayed on there. That was crazy. Good to see from them. Third Eye there calls that angle there, and then Gen G, a lot of kills in this game here. They didn't really need it, but kind of putting on top of that, and they can build some little bit of confidence going into the grand finals for that. But it's Chris really coming off strong here. And good nades, good utility usage, good awareness of this edge here, and then putting on a lot of pressure at EXO. At this point, it's impossible for EXO to get anything out of this here. Ascend has this insane rich, and they have no more to use.
And that was exactly it. They used everything they had to get to that spot. Meanwhile, sort of sit back and watch everything unfold around them. Now that takes from their play. They walked away with a very good kill count. Not as much damage as that because they got to play clean up on so many fights.
Get the fuck out of here. Stop. I'd almost be trying. Where'd you play at? Yeah, that's where I go too. I always win. My cousin wins thousands. I don't know. He puts his whole paycheck into it. And then he keeps putting it back in. Sean. Yeah. So he's always broke. If he would stop when he won. Or you gotta sit and like watch and see people play and which machines are hot. Because if they're on a losing machine, jump on that motherfucker.
Those are really tough decisions that you put yourself in when you let it go this way. The scary thing is on the right hand side of the board here is going to be the teams chasing, right? They're going to be 1 point behind Third Eye, so they're going to be chasing. Also, FaZe, they're having a few rough games, so right now they're actually also, their spot is open for the taking right now. You have a few teams that Petrified Road and Sen that could be doing 1 good game with double digits, and that spot is going to be gone. So maybe 1 good or 2 decent games here to solidify their spot. I will say this though, you're also looking at your top 5, top 6 teams that could potentially have, you know, they don't want to see FaZe in there, right?
Yeah, explain that one to me. I don't know it.
I'm giving away codes in the grand final for the FaZe jacket, so I'd like to see them get to that point and pick up the gas as we go forward. They have a lot of supply, which I think has been a bit of a shock to those of us watching it play, because I thought today, I wasn't stressed.
It's like a slot machine. You gotta hit all 3.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a they have to have game, right? They have to go into the grand final. It shows and looking at the performances yesterday, they've not had too many points today. I think it's 11 or so, maybe 13 that they've ended up so far today.
When you fucking sit there, you hit your button. I had
10 more in there to be
bonus
certain solidify
or 2
their
bonus
spot.
spins
They need to
popped
put
up. I
rubber
hit
to
the
road
3rd
because they
bonus
need
spin.
to make the
Got 10
grand
bonus
final.
spins.
This is PGX
On that
1,
bonus
co-hosted
spin,
by
I won
Crafton and
$100.
BSPO.
On
And
my
when we come
very
back in
next
just a few
spin
minutes,
after
it's on
the
to the
bonus
last 2
spin, I got a
matches of
3
Losers
times
Bracket.
bonus. And then I built a car, which that's what you do when you get your 1, 2, or 3 times bonus. It just more or less multiplies your bet 1, 2, or 3 times. Well, every piece you add to this car is another multiply by 2, 4, or 2, 3, 5, all the way to 100. Nitrous, if you add nitrous to your car, it's 100 times. So if you're betting $4 and you got a 3 times bonus, that's $12 per item times whatever your time multiplier.
I'm part Native American.
I was the only one in the room because I kind of freaked out. But what it was, I just sat there and played for a while, and then I got to 500 and cashed it out. Got the cash, and then I fucking started feeding the goddamn machine even more cash. Well, like I said, I ended up switching machines. If I'd have done it how I should have done it, I should have just left.
Yep.
That's I have a gambling addiction. Like my drug addiction is nothing on my gambling addiction.
That's what they say.
Like I legit.
And it's not about the winning, it's about the losing.
The chance. It's about that chance of winning.
Because people that win, like in Vegas, they win $2 million, they'll get right back and fucking blow it all.
Yup, trying to win it again. You are right. That's how I am, and that's how I've been. I've been that way since I was, I don't know, 21, 22. Technically, no. I want to say it had been like 23 is when I started playing the lottery, because at 23 I bought my first ticket and won $500. Very first ticket ever. I bought 2 of them black and green loaded 500s back in the day. I played the first one, it was a $10 winner. I'm like, oh, so the second one's probably a loser, so I scratched it. You know, I go left to right, row by row. My very last scratch on the fucking second ticket was a instant $500 winner. Right there, dude, I was hooked.
I always scratch the bar off.
Yeah.
And I keep them until I can scan them, because I've went to throw away tickets and they were worth money.
See, I've thrown away a $20 ticket, a $20 winner already. That was an $8 ticket, and I didn't even know it.
I won.
Charlie picked it up that one day, and she's like, "Yeah, this is a winner. You know that, right?" I was like, "No, it's not." She's like, "All right, if it's a winner, I'm keeping the fucking winnings." I was like, "Whatever, dude, go for it. It's not a fucking winner." She fucking scanned it. It was a $20 winner. I watched a guy find a $300 winner one time in the trash.
Yeah. Beth Stein used to go around and pick them out of the trash.
Yeah, she got in trouble for that shit at Pumpkin Snuff.
But she was winning serious money like that. Of course, she had crack habit.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely, people are dumb when they be throwing away their tickets and shit. Like, a lot of people just go dig through the trash for like the second chance drawings and shit. But like,
I don't even do the second chance drawings.
yeah, I don't either, because you know how many people are fucking actually entering them second chance drawings? Millions of people.
I'm more interested in
Instant wins.
and what you had said about using it for attacks.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. What do? Just take them right along the H&R Block or TurboTax or what?
Well, see, when I do TurboTax every year, all right. When I won my most recent, which was $1,000, I collected $1,000 in losing lottery tickets. Now, TurboTax will ask, hey, do you have any reimbursement for your winnings? Your reimbursement would be your $1,000 in losing lottery tickets. But I've also come to find out you can do it and not even fucking have any tickets. You just say, yeah, I collected $1,000. But now, I heard they're also supposed to be, TurboTax is that if you go to an actual agent, you have to take it all with you.
Yeah.
But now, TurboTax, you just kind of throw it on the table. You kind of just tell them, yeah, I got my winnings. Although you might not, but this year, I heard they're supposed to be doing it to the point where you have to take a picture of every ticket and submit every ticket you lost on that you saved.
So even if you didn't win $1,000, you can still claim the losing tickets.
No. You can only claim them if you won money.
Oh.
If you claim losing tickets and get paid for it, right. I got like fucking 20 grand in fucking losing tickets here from the last year. I have a $20,000 fucking income tax if that's the case. Holy shit. That would be tits. I'd buy $20 tickets just to lose.
I never even got over $1,000.
But Alright,
Fucking sickening.
I gotta fucking start painting.
Alright, bro, have fun.
Alright, you dig it?
Now here today, you and I have been on there saying 2 games left, back-to-back good games. We have a good camp. We saw Daytrade do it in the group stage. We saw GEX do it up in Winners. And now, well, let's see who is going to be able to bring it home here in the losers. Who will take those spots, making their way through to the grand finals?
Yeah, and as far as sort of like last line come-ups, we've already seen a few. We saw Gen G and 17 Gaming, both teams that, I'm not going to speak for you, I personally had counted out coming into today. So they've already put themselves in the mix and made it harder for, I mean, New Happy slid even further. And then, of course, Petrichor Brothers, you mentioned, well, still with a good shot, not currently in 8th place. So already we've seen a lot of upsets in terms of where we started on the day.
Most definitely, but I feel like that is also just the name of global PUBG. You're always going to come out of tournaments with upsets in terms of teams that didn't make finals that we thought would, or teams that make finals that we had no expectations for. So if 17 is going to be that one team to not qualify potentially, we were going to have 1, 2, maybe even 3. So not too surprised, despite it being 17 being the one that is currently looking to probably not make the way on through.
Seems to be time. Zooming on in, loading on in. Game start. Match 11 of 12. Time is running out. Miramar, we go for the penultimate map of Losers Bracket.
Yep, it's going to be a good one, I'm sure of it. The plane, you will see it in just a second's time. Hard Southern Skew. Plenty of teams in this losers lobby like looting up towards the north, or at least further towards the north. This plane is going to allow them to. So it will be interesting to see if potentially we are going to have any confrontations early on. Not that I think either of any of these teams would want it, but might be cool.
At the very least, that's who, of course, spoiled for the audience. The Southern Plain patch that is likely going to give us a Southern Circle, and that's going to be a little bit of different terrain from what we've seen on Miramar today. We've seen South Miramar a few times. I believe we had a match or two yesterday, so it's not going to be completely new to this tournament or even this army, but it's at least going to give a little bit of diversity, as we do have to hold on for just a quick moment. It seems to be just a short little issue. We'll be going into the game as quickly as we can. This does give us a little bit more of an opportunity to talk about all these teams that are on the cusp of Sen right now. I believe they started the day in 8th place. They split down a little bit, but a solid end of the previous match put them back into a comfortable position to contest for 8th place. Currently 9th, but again, it's like 1 point behind Third Eye and 8th. Only a few extra points behind FaZe Clan and 7th.
Huge that they're able to rack up the points needed there. So Petrichor, another team who right now is at a pretty good spot. We saw in the previous game, though, that Twisted Minds were out on the hunt. They were looting next to each other on Erangel, and they're actually not looting that far from each other on Miramar either. Issue is there's San Martin team, that was a difficult one, in between them. So Twisted Minds a little harder for them to fully commit to try and take the fight to them early on.
Yeah, there was always that question of if any of these teams that are currently dealing with a fight over their drop position, if they're in a comfortable spot, will they then try and grief the opposing team? Twisted Minds, they're in a spot that they could do
I mean, they've already
that.
done it.
They've already done it a little bit, yeah, but they haven't like fully committed to a hot drop.
True, and I think for central looting positions, there's so many compounds in and around Hacienda, so even if Twisted Minds were to hot drop Petrichor in there, they would try and fly away. I mean, there's enough areas that they should be able to regroup. One thing's for sure, though, Petrichor cannot just, you know how you jump out of the plane, just like only look at this direction you're going. You've got to do the 360s constantly, because there could be a Twisted Minds.
Yeah, my only concern is that with the Southern Plain path, that's going to make backup spots harder to get to. That's going to make redirecting if you're already in the air that much more difficult to do. But as you can see on the screens that are on the screens in front of you, they're in the air. We're logged into the game. Should be good to go.
And there we have it. Let's hop into this one. Last Miramar of the losers bracket. Last Miramar of the entire set here before grand finals is on. EXO instantly out there, going to fly as far north as they possibly can, and other teams would want to do similar things. But as we said, as we alluded to, hard Southern Plain, will teams have to fight for vehicles? Well, just moments away from finding out.
Sen going down to Mar. Third Eye probably going to be coasting a little bit. STK, they're lucky they can just drop immediately onto their generic loot spot, or not generic, their standard loot spot, their planned loot spot. Same thing with New Hampshire going to Los Leones. We might see a couple people contest Los Leones with a play pad like this and just how many people can fit and run it. And if you look at the map, FaZe, Purple Moon aren't too far away, but it looks like they're both going to be continuing on and sort of sharing that. I don't know, it's weird that you often see so many teams in that area between where Gen.G are and then Puerto Paraiso, because it's almost like scrappy vulture loot, but it can fit a lot of scrappy vulture loot.
One thing is the amount of loot, another thing is only so many cops down here. Oh, let's hold on for a second. Hikari knocked himself, I think, and in the meantime, other people have guns, and that is not finding teams instantly face. Not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination just yet. They would not want to take casualties. Circle, in the meantime, actually a lot further towards the north than I thought it was going to be over this plane path.
It's still close to the plane draft. It's still within the bounds of what we expect here. But yeah, still quite far north. So that's going to favor a team like Twisted Minds, whose power grid is actually, as far as all the drops that we're seeing right now, closest to the dead center. And EXO also on the move up to El Pozo. Those are the two teams that are going to have good spots at that mountain in the middle. But we're still seeing a lot of teams drive around each other, fighting for vehicles, and we're losing 2 lives because of it.
Now, one of the interesting things with the amount of teams that towards the south and southeast is that power grid plateau is really only like properly approachable from the north. You do have a couple of roads up there, but you never know who's sitting around there waiting for you. So I'm curious to see how many teams are actually going to swing hard north. Ghibli could potentially do it. Petrichor, I'm very much expecting to do it. Sunsister already heading in that direction. We'll see if this is the case or not. Cloaky finds Correxia as well as FaZe continue to take casualties here in the second to last game of Losers Bracket.
And losing 1 is bearable. It's harsh but bearable. Losing 2 before 3 minutes time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a pair of FaZe salvage it out a fair bit, but Vex and Gustav not being even looted up in the circle, it's going to be an even harder task for them.
And having the entirety of Purple Moon now in between them. They're effectively going to have to sit around where they are right now and wait for Purple Moon to leave early. Like, once they hear all the cars leave, that's when they can start grouping up.
Petrichor Road is still driving. They still haven't set their drop time. Sunsister only just now arriving at their position on the east side. It's far north, so that explains why. And you know, they could rotate into the zone late, just swing up to the north where it should be more clear. But Petrichor Road are still moving. They might try to go for Hacienda, and they have their vehicles, but that's going to delay their loot process. And at that point, you could see another Eastern team like Ghibli or even LG overtake their position before they're ready.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect to see Petrichor continue their rotation they're already on now. They know that no one is committed to taking Hacienda, because that's A, where they are normally loot, B, no one can reach it. And if they do get up there and take it for free, they'll be in for a treat because there's really a whole lot of terrain available. In the meantime, now the rotation kills happening again, and as we said, very hard southern plane path. Teams are gonna run into each other. This is just another example of it.
A good kill for Cuban, but he is alone, and he's being isolated. He's being surrounded.
Yep.
There is support from Toasty on the high ground, but Xenon is already rushing on, and Cuban holding the angle. It seems for the first sight of Flash at the ready, but Leo is even more at the ready with an M4.
Yeah, the Cumin is not the worst thing in the world to fall here. It was actually going to be Toasty though to find one, as Ghibli is already in for GEX though. They desperately need the points, and they desperately need to stay alive.
Cuban was able to use the north side. He's able to separate himself from GEX, no longer surrounded, and as Glad is pushing in, potentially something here, potentially coming all the way here. Like, looks like they're fighting hard to defend Cuban, and it makes sense because this is not in the zone. This is not a holding pattern for them. It's not a position that they want to hold a split for. They just want to get a couple of kills and then move on to phase 1. Ghibli already in first place. They don't even need these points, but GEX are aggressing on their teammate, and they have to send a message.
Yep, GX the ones to take casualties in this one already as well. And Xavier, not just any casualty, he has been a really, really good player for this team throughout this tournament. We'll see here. GX, if they can prevail, if they can stay alive. I'm loving the split position for Ghibli though. One on the south side, one on the hills, and then 2 shotguns up close.
Yeah, not only has Lazarized, Heaven is on the low south side holding an angle. Leo's a little bit of damage, but he has to back away because the utility is most assuredly going to be falling in on his spot. A couple of volleys from Xenon to limit the angles that Ghibli can peek, but the hunters have become the hunted. GEX need to pull out some frag grenades, and you can see in Yuri's pocket there aren't that many to use.
Yeah, true. Cumin jumping around, dodging and weaving the nades, and the other utility being thrown towards him. He's not really shying away. right around it, but Heaven is going to hear those vehicles coming into South Blue, and now hear the shots as well. Purple Moon, I mean, they desperately need the points. It's 7-15. They're screaming with the first. Instantly, the flush to follow. As now Seven tries to find another kill back. Oh, not as well! Shotgun domination from Ghibli.
Just in time before Purple Moon can really punish this fight. Toasty is calling out all the information, taking a lot of damage. That's a really good knock for Fluky. But again, Purple Moon doesn't have the timing on trying to get more damage, getting more damage to the rest of Ghibli here. Thunder swinging out to the side to try and confirm that kill. The spray comes up from Heaven, doesn't find enough damage there, and so Toasty is also going to go out. Ghibli are at least going to lose one.
Yeah, and it's the eye in the sky that falls, so they're going to have to sit tight in that compound at least for a little while longer. Purple Moon not fully committed to the proper push up close just yet, but they do know all V3 in case they're looking to take that fight. But to be honest, although just seeing the Union get hit 3, I don't think they want to crash into that tire.
That was Heaven that was immediately removing that tire. So Fluky relegated to a truck that might already be a little bit damaged, which is why he was going for the buggy in the first place. For Purple Moon, do they even want to try and stick around for this fight? They're sitting in 15th place. It's not impossible for them to get into 8th if they have 2 amazing games, at least 1 win, potentially 2. And I don't think committing to this fight is the way to start that.
It's not the winning play, let's put it that way. Even if they do get 2 kills here, even if they take 1 casualty, that could be a 20-point game over. Because as we said, we're looking at around 70 points. You can probably qualify with less, but 70 points, then you should be pretty guaranteed, and that is still 40 points away. Okay, with a quick math, 20 points per game. You don't get 20 points per game by losing 1 of them.
Human here, trying to see if he can't lose one early for Purple Moon. Getting revenge on Toasty with the drive-by and the quick stop by Fluky. Ghibli lose yet another. I mean, Ghibli have nothing to lose here, okay? There is no skin off of their back. They're really just trying to grieve a team that grieved them here. But already 4 kills, I mean, two teams that have had a lot worse games than Ghibli, even if they do go out here.
Ghibli, effectively, the mosquito in the room late at night that you want to get rid of, but you can't. Still floating around, still doing damage, still forcing Purple Moon to stick around, even though I think it's safe to say they would much rather go towards the circle right now.
Couple of shots in, but everyone back in the truck. We gotta go. Lose our back. We do still have to focus on the rest of the game. So good for Purple Moon to keep all 4 up, all 4 alive. And I also agreed, or at least didn't disagree, with the decision to try and third-party this a little bit, perhaps sticking around a little bit too long. But let's look at a replay of, this is one of the very first kills here, as non-separated and dropped far away from the rest of New Happy just to try and get an early kill, but then of course Human on the rooftop with the shotgun. Oh, an anal shot.
3 full health players too. Those shotguns are getting pretty disgusting.
I'm a fan of the shotgun.
It's not that I don't like the shotguns. They have their play, or they have their place, I should say, in the ecosystem of PUBG. It's just they're no fun to play against.
Thunders. Do Thunders and Heaven know about each other? I'm sure they do now. Thunders at the ready with parallel. Just waiting for Heaven to peek a little too aggressively. We do see the circle shift, hard shift to the southwest, which makes this fight even worse because Purple Moon have to move even further. But Thunders is locked in here. It's a good decision for the rest of Purple Moon to try and group up. Thunders does get the first knock. It's only 1 member of a Ghibli left. It's Glaz, and can he try and 1v4? Does he just go for this? Because why not?
Well, might as well. You're so far from the circle. Solo player left alive. You might as well see how much more of a nuisance that you can be in this match. As you said, Circle Hard West Montenuevo is what it has written all over it. A lot of the teams, though, luckily for them, were already in this area, so not the longest rotations for them to make phase. Ghibli should class not up to take the fight, and Purple Moon are the only really, I guess, losers in terms of where the circle shifted.
Retro Road and Sun Sister, I imagine they've been rotating around each other since the very beginning, since we first spotted them rotate through each other to get to their initial draw spots. And they're both going to be coming in from the north through the El Pozo angle onto this circle. SDK also driving in, and SDK, they're currently sitting at 65 points. So while they're not one of the teams that are in the danger zone just yet, part of me still is a little worried, and Kurt going down so early to Richard Bizzler himself. Sort of, I don't know. It's been a while since I felt that I could be 100% confident in SDK.
A double zeros on the board here could definitely mean a potential outer heavy. Another team now to make the presence in the circle. They need something going here. They need at least 25 points to even consider qualifying for the grand finals.
Gen G holding a little bit of a bridge troll here on the south side, a 2-2 split. Few's actually going to be running up to try and catch an angle on Taman. Covers, tries to get a little bit of initial damage, but New Happy want no part of this. They hate early fighting. That is going to force them more towards the center, which they're also not fond of. But at this angle, they should know that no one's really going to be coming in from the exact south side. So as far as getting backfilled and then cross between a couple of different teams, shouldn't be too fearful of that. As the road, you can see, have grouped up separate from Sunset. So I was curious if they were to choose the 16th place team to chase down and get quote-unquote easy kills. But no, looks like they're just going to try and post up and wait for days.
Look at this. Ghost Dog and Faze found one another. They didn't have to wait in the blue for a long time to be sure that everyone else had left. But with this hardship coming in, I think that was a confirmation that they could now start rotating hand in hand.
They're not far from the ship because it did head south along with very far west. So they're actually not far from it at this moment in time. Third Eye, not quite dead center, but really close if you're not in Montana River itself, which we haven't talked about the fact that it is a urban setting in the dead center of this circle. It is likely going to hardship to the east, northeast, I imagine, around those fields, which means that the high ground positions, while not being centered that you see around those fields, could be useful. There's still a lot to be decided here.
Issue with Montana River is as much as you can chill in the center of the city, everything around it except for the southwest is open fields. And the southwest, well, it never really shifts in that direction, as you were alluding to anyway. So difficult to predict where this one shifts first circle though. I mean, not gonna be easier to predict on this one. We are gonna go east though, at least to some extent. Right now, honestly, 17, Third Eye, Gen G, put a dot in the middle. The circle should shift east, southeast.
Yeah, this is great for Third Eye, as you said. They're not in the center here, but it's going to go their direction. They have the open shooting season. It's really going to be the mark for them that start looking at how to get out now. Garota immediately on the move to get closer towards that central position, trying to get ahead of
You should jump on with me. You said you were going to the other night, but
the teams on the south, on the hillside, could be using that position. It really is just these northern teams trying to rotate ahead of the curve. Mexico Road taking a couple of shots from Ascent, puts in mind on the hilltop to the northeast, also trying to do some damage.
Yeah, and people so far so good. 0 damage taken as they come full speed forward towards the city. Now headshots are starting to ring through. As Ming tries to peek on out. Nice little Dutch and weave there. Mike slipped through the car into cover.
They found something. It's not a great spot. And they came in at a velocity that didn't allow them to really save their vehicle tires too much. So the exit could be a bit harder than the entrance, but it's something. It's somewhere to post their flag. Luminosity here is actually FaZe Clan backselling them, and just the weekend FaZe. Weekend, not weekend. Weekend FaZe might not be enough of a force to really have LG be aware of them until it's too late.
Vehicles and Murados especially do make quite a bit of sound, but as you can see, Snake and Kickstart, they have their eyes elsewhere. They know that 17 is happening north of them. They currently looking in that direction. Yeah, I'm saying this space needs every single point they can get. They're currently set in 7, they're currently in, but only at 59. Yeah. 2 games left to play. They want to get up to that 70-point mark, potentially even higher. It's smart PUBG we're seeing from FaZe Clan.
And FaZe is going to really hope that it's the teams that are above them that are going to be getting all the points from this game. But again, with Third Eye in the center, or with Ascend with another position towards the center, those are the teams that they don't want to be there.
Vex is though he's thrown inside. Okay, he's thrown inside the shack. I was saying he's looking south, and that is crucial timing because Glass is sneaking his way up behind him. I mean, if Glass runs forward, he's gonna see Ghost Dog thrown in the middle of the open.
They must have spotted Glass. That's the only reason why they're looking behind them. They might have noticed them their vehicle. Yeah, but here's Sun Sister moving out. They have a wide spread, but they're playing around these rocks that it's going to get shifted off of. It's going to get shifted off of. This is a play for a late push, and by that point, who knows what's going to be available right now. Gustav, eyes on Glass, vehicle send, got stalled short, and Glass out in the open, taking a lot of damage from the blue. Grenade's not going to hit, but this is still it's a necessary fight for FaZe just to stay alive and not get taken out by a snake, but they are hating the fact that they have to be distracted by this.
Exactly, and now double headshot connected on the face. He had a good off angle. Whip one through to John. No, Gustav headshot as well. This snake could be the downfall of FaZe commits to the heel. Will he be able to get off? Just exactly. Luminosity, I'm looking at you. Where are you in all this? Kill does not come through for Gustav, and he won't
hardship in the rest of the circle towards the northeast. It is towards that field. Twisted Minds just sitting pretty sitting happy, overlooking everything, as well as Third Eye of Purple Mood here on the north. It's a big giant field between them, but it looks like they have their eyes set on Twisted Minds' position.
Again, they need points and they need more of them, so if they can claim this hilltop position, they would be good at least for a while, knowing that most of the teams are going to have to fight one another. Gen.G in the meantime trying to make their way further forward as well, but look at this open field they have to maneuver through.
Yeah, there's not a lot of spots to play, so it might only be circle 4, but you just gotta go for a stand.
Yeah.
That's what Gen.G look like they are doing. Pentacle Road actually able to get out of Monte Nuevo very, very early. They find this little dip, which we've seen some good games come out of it, but they're gonna have to defend it with their life, because Gen.G seem to have eyes on that position. Vox with the first knock against the Korean team. Richie B with the confirm. That's another point for them who are trying to maintain themselves in the top 8.
Full speed forward, here comes Gen.G, not aware of what's waiting for them on the other side, but Taman from inside the vehicle finds one. Instantly taken down though, but no gets to return. That's a nade, that's a real close nade as well. One down, could potentially be 2 with the second. Yes, Joey falls as well. Now it's just Mill left alive to third. Close, but not done enough damage.
But Mill is just dancing and dodging and taking shots from multiple angles. It's going to be Spyro with the final kill there. Pentacle Road are eliminated, and so they have one game left to put themselves in 8th place. Fox, the only one up for Gen.G, so it's not like they got out of this one scot-free, but they are comfortable in the position. There's any other team that needs to climb. It's going to see that in the kill feed, going to see that on the map in front of them, and try and steal that spot.
And what better team to get the final kill?
FaZe Clan's about not to make it in the loser bracket.
Twisted Mind as the G-Star Pentacle fall out of the lobby. As you said, they will have one last chance in the next game to make their way into the top 8, which they're currently out of.
So for a brief moment, that 1-2-1 that Purple Moon are playing, it did push Twisted Mind a little bit more towards the east. Luminosity now charging in towards the center. Not going for the dip, they're going for Third Eye's compound, always with a grenade at the ready, as well as other members, which should be pulled away, taking a lot of damage already. And it's actually going to be Penta in Vegas, and it's SDK there dealing the first initial knocks.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming through on the side of Third Eye now as well. Nice swing around, but not going to have an ult. Was able to take him out. Third Eye racking up more points to stay now as well. Sit inside that top 8.
But they're wounded. SDK are overlooking that compound. They might just want to steal that or continue to fire from the high ground. Penta taken very low, 19 HP, forced to fall away and prone down for the heal. And we have a few more seconds before phase 5. This one could
Shoot
go
the kill
all
better.
directions, but Adam is now also taken out for Third Eye. They stabilized in the warehouse, but they lost their forward anchor.
A lot better than shifting the circle right out into the open. No one is going to be at the advantage here. If anyone, Purple Moon, and they're the team right now that needs the points the most. You know what? Fair. Sun Sister, Purple Moon, this is your chance to rack up a lot of points. But also the city has to be abandoned. And look at how many teams are currently set in.
This is awful for New Happy and Exo. I don't need to tell you why that's the case, but it is exciting for Ascent, who, again, currently in 9th.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the easiest hold for them, but if they can collect a bunch of those kills of Exo and New Happy, then they're going to take those points. They would never turn those down. 17 now, throwing themselves towards the center. Fonzie, the last one up in that dip. A few rocks, a couple of smokes, but have to be ready to fight. But 17, they do stop short.
One nade here could be the difference maker in terms of whether 17 stays alive or not. It's going to be close. It's going to find one. Shower fell early. He's going to take down Shushu as well. Now there goes Falls 2. They were looking so good. They came into a good spot with one nade. Started the escalation, the downfall for 17 Gaming.
It wasn't even one grenade. It was them pulling a grenade and then getting knocked by STK and the Rude Goldberg machine of rudeness. And now it is only Xiaobei up. Solo player can still get a couple of points, a lot of points for 17 Gaming, and they're not in the worst position. So it is not Alarmo's just an Exo. Somehow, when we're watching up here on the map, completely avoided Ascend as they sent it to the north. It's just Purple Moon who now have a crossfire around them, but they could easily play out of that position.
Nice northern rep, definitely for them. Purple Moon does have an angle on, and they know that Twisted Minds wrap close towards their position up to the north, so can't really fully commit to Exo out west right now. Back inside the city though, New Happy, Ascent, they will both have to leave, but for now, Ascent are still in the circle.
It's going to be a crucial fight here. Both these teams are trying to get to the top 8. Ascent have an easier time. They are closer to that position, but New Happy, if they have a really good game here, they could put themselves in contention in the final game, but it has to start now. Pentagram, similar thing with them. They're at 46 points, or 47 with the kill they've gotten already, and a caught out in the open, just trying to run it down on the Sun Sister, dodging and weaving, taking a lot of shots. But 2 and
victory by a cause. If only Sunsister knew someone was that close to their compound, they would probably be looking in this direction a bit more. It's with they can't really fully commit to it, as you see him. As soon as it peaks down towards the southeast, Twisted Minds is shooting them in the back.
Target confirmed. Adder and Wicked get shot to bits.
There's something they can do. There's simply too many teams looking in this direction. Too many teams sat in good positions. And now, speaking of positions, SDK could fumble to sit in their shirts. Here comes Third Eye. This is what you get for a third party. You got Third Eye are saying they get the knock. They have to pull away. Vegas prone down in time, and now he can try and answer back. All eyes are now in this hill, and Third Eye back off. They have vehicles at the ready. Gustav, we saw him earlier. 15 first states is what he had, and here he comes, sneaking his way forward. Face need points in any imaginable way that they can. One more first that he's burnt through 13 of them, and now he's getting close to Third Eye from behind.
Left the circle. They gotta clear this space and clear this area before they reach that hill and get back into Purple Mood. The grenades are coming on in. 5 kills from Twisted Minds already, and now back on Third Eye. Fades are eliminated in 10. Gustav was unable to get any. Just across the way are getting the revives.
You know, the 14 first state. Go way into this one.
6 kills for Third Eye. And they're not committing to the SDK fight because they know it's not in the circle. It's not in the zone. It's not full of playable position. They're going to have to get to their vehicle and send it up to where Xiaomei is. But that still raises the question of Twisted Minds who took Sunsister's spot and then Purple Mood on the north side. How much damage can they do? And finally, New Happy pushing into Ascend. Knobs on both sides, but New Happy just seem to have a very difficult time breaking themselves away from that wall across the road. Non and HF are trying to get the CP on.
That wall is going to work in their favor. Issue is the smokes on the north of that big bar. Just a second, and that's going to be when they'll be able to peek on over. The rest should be able to come through, but they need to re-smoke this. They need to isolate more angles for seconds.
They can be prone to kill your tie up close personal. Can maybe even use those steps as an angle of looking here, but he doesn't want to go for it. He's got to lose the teammate to try and open up the Chris, who is on the off angle, has been down. HF with the shotgun in hand, jumping around, seeing what he can't spot. 4 up for New Happy. It's a 4 versus 3, and who knows when X are going to be able to find an angle grenade.
Micah is taken low. Hit 2. Still been falling apart. Ascend. The last 2 up, trying to push in with shotguns onto Micah's spot. Spotted through the smoke. Micah's going for the first, going for the second. It is all Ming Ming left. And Micah, he's going to run out in the blue.
Yep, wants to go for the kills, wants to get more points off of this. They know that they need them, but couldn't quite commit to it in the end. Had to fall back. We saw Third Eye take out STK just before as they reached 10 kills as well.
Ming Ming, no time, no opportunity to get the revive on Non.
What a
Goes for the
swing.
spray, but just can't quite stick the second. Ascend survive for now. They're wounded, they're bruised, they're battered, but they can continue to play and get themselves into 8th place.
What a phenomenal swing there from Ascend. Not only are they able to get the kills through, but they should be able to get at least 3 on their feet off of that engagement. Make that 2. Sorry as Micah and Brex stay alive.
Richie B. Richard Biz, the last one up for Third Eye, once again, is going to be hoping for an EXO third party, and the blue pushing on in. Spyro running out into the zone. Down to such little HP, but that is going to be Third Eye out. We're looking at the top 4 in the blink of an eye. We're down to 4. Twisted Minds and EXO still with 4 members up. EXO somehow able to take all the position that was held by Purple Mood.
Yeah, Xiaopei as well. Again, I mean, 17 by no means guaranteed in this one. Trying to rag up placement points, trying to stay alive. Allow for Twisted Minds and EXO to fight. Issue is, both of them still 4 up. They see 9 total. They know it's at least 2 teams here. Twisted Minds, though, they do not care. They're pushing up close. Perfectix has the first.
King ready to peek on over. Heikeman has been knocked. 8 kills, Twisted Minds trying to pick up as much more as they can, because why not? But Kang holds strong, doesn't go down off that peak. He's going to get immediately traded. Bachulin falling away. They are not over pushing. That's going to attempt to go for the revive, but Empty has a grenade with Twisted Minds' name on it. Goes for, pushes Spyro to the grave.
Yep. Akita is the off-angle player. He's trying to not allow for Twisted Minds to wrap around the southeast side. He needs
Twisted Minds does take the points, not necessarily needed, but you saw them hunting over. For me, it was Third Eye and EXO in the end game there. That was sort of our story. Where are they going to end up? And Third Eye has been just surviving and getting the points, I think, unexpectedly for a lot of folks.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I've been a little bit pleased with how the leaderboard has been ending up, because we have a lot of teams that are within kind of that distance there. If one or two teams that are very close, they could jump them, and it's going to be an extremely exciting last game here. Of course, the other teams is on the scary kind of end of the spectrum, because you have your top 4, top 5, maybe top 6 teams that are so safe. They're like, who do we want in the grand final? They could potentially deny some teams that don't want to see there because they are a strong grand finalist, or they're in a spot that they want in terms of looting.
Yeah, I think we saw that with, say, Luminosity when they crashed that warehouse Third Eye was in. They know they're qualified. They threw bodies at a problem and figured, hey, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Doesn't really matter to us. And that's scary for those teams in the middle, because there's nothing worse than a Gen.G wrecking ball slamming into your house at any time.
It wasn't a wrecking ball. That was more of a, I don't know, beach ball.
It was, it was like a beach ball at a concert just gets popped by the security guard. Top 4 teams, Twisted Minds comes out with 12 kills. They're going to love the points away from that. 17 having an absolutely phenomenal day as they get up to second. EXO and Ascend, 2 teams that need to get those points, do show up in the top 4, and I believe in 5th place you get Third Eye. So all of these teams that need to make that cutoff are doing everything they can to get there. Now, normally when we go into these sort of final leaderboards, final game, it comes down to like 1 team versus maybe 2 on the chase. This one, it felt like there's a couple of teams in that 5 to 10 point swing area that if they let off the gas or like they give up the points, really we could see a pretty big mix-up.
Yeah, and I gotta say on top of that, especially with this circle here, we saw much more kind of normal Montenegro circle. It went outside the city, you know, in this more open land terrain area, and you know, Twisted Minds, they exactly expect this, and that's why they're sending it out. EXO, though, I gotta say, impressed with how they're playing this late game, but they got dominated by some of the pushes and shots we saw from Twisted Minds there. That was super well executed by them. Austria, a little bit of Akita, of course, my cheap pick, fantasy pick. He's been doing really well for himself. And yeah, but it's looking rough for EXO to get into the grand final.
Alright, we'll take a look at the team stats, and it has been a little rough for EXO. I think if they could have turned it on just a little bit sooner, they might be in a different position. Team stats, the winning team walks with this. Batulin gets 4 kills.
Efficient.
Lu as well.
200 damage only.
Very efficient. The cleanup hitter, we call that.
There's a little bit of thieving going on in there for sure when you only have 200 damage.
But even Lu is only 386 and 4, so it does tell you, I mean, but that sort of fits their style of play. They like to sort of lock down strategic positions, pick off teams as they sort of fight themselves, and we do see that. We'll take a look at the MVP, the man of the match. 4 kills for Lu, 1 knockout, good survival time. And really, again, they found a good spot. You said they expected the circle to go to that location, and they just sort of bristled up and defended.
It's the same kind of play we saw once we had it the last time, right, with how Sonics played it, and inside this area, kind of in the crossroads department of mods, but here it ended the way you usually see it. And here's the teams are, of course, still Twisted Minds on top 4 every single category here. Ghibli looking good. I've been impressed with how well they've been playing here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see having represented them in the grand final.
Absolutely. For me, the big takeaway today is the re-emergence of our Korean teams, both in Ghibli and Gen.G. Take a quick look at the match leaderboard. 22 points there, 13. We're going to focus on teams in the hunt here as we get ready for the last game. So just for you guys at home, teams to track as we go into the last match. Our catchers will help keep you up with that. Third Eye in the race. EXO in the race. Ascend in the race. And those are all teams. FaZe Clan was shockingly now. FaZe Clan being forced to 0 points in that last game actually puts them out of the 8th position.
Here, look at that. So 70 points for Third Eye. That's the threshold you want to make sure you pass in case Third Eye doesn't get any points, right? And you have 66 points for Ascend. FaZe Clan 59, Pentagram 52, and I think that's actually it's going to end there unless you have an insane game from Pentagram, and I don't really see it happening at this point here.
We haven't seen it yet, so
that's our 4 teams we're really tracking: FaZe Clan, Pentagram Road, Ascend, and Third Eye. I think everyone else is going to be safe. I don't see 3 teams passing shoot to kill on 72 at this point.
Absolutely. SDK will just play safe, and that's, I think, Third Eye, Ascend. Those are the teams that you want to watch. So we're going to check in with FaZe Clan as the first team we visit in their booths. This is not where they thought they were going to be. They had an amazing day. Not amazing. They had a good day yesterday and an amazing game. Phenomenal. One of the best games we've seen.
and they need to make that. They need to make that jump. A final without FaZe is a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah, I gotta say that's unexpected at this point as well. To be honest, but also they're a scary grand finalist,
yes,
right?
They are.
They could have some targets on their back going into this one.
Every grand final ends on a Sunday, and FaZe is synonymous with that. Though Third Eye told us they want to make it Third Eye Sunday. Can they do it here today? We'll find out as we head back to the magnificent meadows of Erangel for our last match of the winner's bracket, co-hosted by Crafted and VSPO.
One more match to claim the rights for a grand final spot. One more match from 9th through 16th to show what they're made of and to make their way through to where all the prize money lie. I'm Toby, joined by Cam, and we are in, Cam, for an absolutely amazing final match of PUBG here in the losers bracket of PGS1.
I mean, we should be, right?
We better be.
Looking at the numbers.
We better be.
And the fact that it's not even close to a tie, there is a not ginormous, but noticeable gap between 8th and 9th place.
Yes.
Means that we are expecting really, really executed attempts at FaZe Clan Petrichor Road to try and get into 8th place. And then, of course, Third Eye Ascend holding the line, holding the door.
There are only so many teams properly in the race right now that for the teams that are already sat safely inside, they know who they are. And if they want to take the fight to them early, they most likely know where to find them as well. So keep an eye out of that. Some of these teams that are on the cusp might get hunted down because either it's teams that could have loot spots that the other teams want for grand finals, or simply it's just teams they want to make enemies with.
GEX here dropping down to Sosnovka, as they have been this entire time, and we see Luminosity and Ghibli parachute next to each other. I thought Luminosity might want to try and long drop to Milk to Power, but no, instead it looks like they're going to be going for vehicles and perhaps trying to fight over Ghibli for those. Again, this is basically 1st and 2nd place.
Yeah.
So, or, I mean, 2nd and 3rd, because Twisted Minds took that spot, but still at the top of the leaderboard doesn't actually make a difference in terms of qualification. Both those teams have punched their tickets already. New Happy cannot say the same for them.
Nope.
It's possible, but it would, okay, well, this circle sort of makes that even harder because New Happy are one of the teams that needs to drive the furthest.
And look at how many teams aren't in this one or anywhere near. Petrichor could... Wait a minute. Petrichor could go Russock. The plane was straight south to north. Petrichor didn't dare go Russock out of fear that Twisted Minds were going to come for them. That is 100% guaranteed.
Where is this happening? Where?
It's happening...
Wait. Why are there 2 17 players that got taken out by Ascend? Well, at the very least, whatever led to that decision for the split drop from 17, Ascend got 2 more points. So that is bad for fans of FaZe Clan, bad for fans of Petrichor Road, because that's going to make their climb, that's going to make the wall, the cutoff for 8th place even higher.
That is, that's interesting, considering 17 usually, if not always, loots Pachinki when given the opportunity to. I kept my eyes too hard on the map on that one, seeing Petrichor not hop towards Russock, and they missed that one. That's on me.
Little more shots coming out. Okay. This match is
remake.
A little, yeah.
Remake.
It's looking a little bit that way.
This is getting too weird. This is getting simply getting too weird. I think what might have happened as I try to brain my way through this one. We're getting the confirm on a remake now. I think what might have happened is that the 217 players disconnected. That's why they were shot. That's why they remake. And because the DC happened before they hit the ground, rules are as written. It's a remake.
Yep. I didn't want to call it before we got official wording for it, but then the second we saw players knocking themselves and their teammates. Basically. Apologies once again. Yeah, Toby, you're excited.
We're making theory crafting now.
Okay.
Twisted Minds now knows that Petrichor doesn't dare go Russock. Is this the double reverse play where they now go Russock because they think Twisted Minds is going to chase them in Prim? They just played their hand in a game that was remade.
Ooh, yeah, that is a bit curious because
it's a theory, but
Twisted Minds are they want to play their game, especially for a team that has been a bit slow to start into this tournament, or being honest, in their own region. I think just focusing on trying to get the reps in going into the grand finals is better and more valuable to them than going for a hot drop Petrichor road. But does Petrichor know that? Does Petrichor road then reverse card them twice? Actually just give themselves up for Twisted Minds.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. One thing that I did catch as we had our eyes on the booth of Twisted Minds just before, Batulin's throughout this entire tournament so far has been full, like, just cold face focus mode. I sensed a smirk. A small smirk out of the corner of his mouth there. So I think Twisted Minds know that regardless of where this one takes us, if they see anything that just the smallest sign of Petrichor in the nearby vicinity, they're going hunting.
GX right now, one of the teams that we don't really consider one of the main focuses of being able to break into 8th place. FaZe Clan certainly are, but for GX, sitting at 46 points where the cutoff is as it stands 66, it is definitely possible. It's even possible for EXO at 42. It's going to have to be amazing games, and it's going to have to be Ascend and Third Eye and no one else in between not performing well themselves. So
now I'm okay. So finish your point. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but I have a NA caster next to me. I'm going to use an American football reference and see this remake was effectively icing the kicker for the game-winning goal, because not only the Petrichor Twisted Mind situation, but this plane did not allow for FaZe Clan. You could see the eyes of Gustav. He's a very focused man right now. They were forced to all jump towards Saki as well. Many teams that are praying for the remake to have a better plane path than the game we just saw here.
So it's the opposite of icing the kicker then?
I mean, the game iced the kicker, I suppose.
No, but wait. Okay. I mean, like, maybe I don't understand football as much as I thought I did.
They're doing it to try and make it even harder, but yeah,
but it's going to be an entirely new game, so it's a new situation.
There is also the chance that when you ice the kicker, the wind then shifts. You know what? Let's just forget about American football for a second. We'll watch normal footballs on the field.
This is what we all get for letting a European talk about American sports.
But you know what? I mean, I tried. I did my best.
Certainly did.
And it just proved to the world that I'm not an NA caster, because apparently I can't even get football right. And if you can't do that, you're definitely not American.
I do appreciate that you call it NFL football.
I mean, I used to play football. I'll call it that. I'm not a big fan of soccer. I used to play football. It's just, that's the one thing I'll NA myself about, is football.
I like you a little more now.
Thank you.
Not because I like football, but I hate soccer.
There you go. It's do or die time for many of these teams. Of course, the teams currently on our screens are the ones to whom it matters the most. You could say it matters to all, but has the biggest chance of making this happen. FaZe wanted a good game last game, so they could sit back a little more chill in this one. They zeroed out. They need a stellar performance here in order to qualify. Currently set, I believe, 7 points out, but they would want at least double digits this game to secure their spot in the grand finals.
So I am currently eagle-eyed focused on all of these monitors that we're seeing in front of us, because I want to see the plane path. I want to see what it's like. I want to see what game this is going to give us. Are we going to get a similar plane path, another one that is like straight up and down, one that's pretty fair, pretty even, or are we going to skew even worse than we saw just the previous game?
I hope, just for the sake of fairness, I mean, they can't completely repeat the previous game or remake, so I hope that it's going to be similar, but we'll see.
I mean, fairness, fairness. The round didn't technically happen, so really should just wipe that from your memory.
And would it be fair if they all knew coming into it? I guess technically not. So it's only fair that it's random.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which it is. Which it is. We have, as much as we've tried, there is no way for us to influence the game. It's a black box that's guarded by an entire military's worth. But hey, look at that.
Here we go.
We're into the game. We're into the round.
Here we go once more. And as much as we said we can't repeat the playing path, it's pretty close, except it's coming in from